Hey everyone, before we get into this video, some sad news to pass on to members of the armoring community. I just found out from another armorer that Dan DeShane, legendary U.S. armorer, member of the semi-commission for 10 years, team armorer for multiple world and Olympic teams, has passed away. Dan was, for me, one of the holy trinity of U.S. Armory between him, Joe Burns, and Ted Lee. Now only Ted remains. I learned a lot from Dan on how to be an armorer. This video series owes a lot to Dan. Before the three of them hit the scene, armorers treated armory like their own private fiefdoms. You know, they held the information close. And those who decided, no, we're going to pass information on, and they implored the rest of us to do so, which is why I made my very video series. So I'm still processing the loss. Dan was one of those forgotten more than I'll ever learn types. So the armory, how you saw him do just off the top of his head, still blows my mind 20 years later. This video is dedicated to Dan. Mr. DeShane, Mr. DeShane, Godspeed, my friend. Hey everyone, Sam Signorelli, H1 Fencing. Welcome back to Can Haz Armory. Today, not so much a repair video, but a video by a neat little tool I just picked up. So, anyone who's known me for a while, and knows any armorer for a while, knows that we sometimes have multiple different test boxes. I started with a single meter Dan DeShane test box. Then I had a custom 3-meter box built because Dan was no longer making them. And then I'm actually designing my own 3-meter box that's analog, that'll work the way I want it to work. But in the meantime, a friend of mine sold me this little device. It comes out of Italy. It is the A6, a really, really neat little test box. Turn on, it's battery powered. There's a display. It will test weapons, it will test body cords, it'll show cross wires, it'll do Lemay tests, it'll test resistance in the guard. It's really, really cool. I just got still playing with it, still learning it, but let me show you how it works. Hang on. Okay, so here's the box. It's got a nice little digital display, and it will cycle through its settings. You see, you push this blue buttons. Right now it's on foil. Goes to epee. This is the weapon check, and you see all the resistance listings. I'll go through it in a little bit. There's 2 different checks for body cords. This is a regular resistance check per line. And this is going to show resistance and also if there's crossed wires. It's a really neat little function. And that's for the Lemay test. Now, you'll notice that the labeling's backwards. This is labeled in the European manner, so that's A, that's B, that's C, whereas in the US, that's C, that's B, that's A. Have to get used to that. These ports are for the A-line and the mass core check. This is to check the guard. I'll show you in a bit. And so let's do a demonstration. Hang on a second. I'll pull a weapon. Okay, so I have a foil off screen. It's on foil now. I'm going to plug the body cord into these center ports here. You'll see right there resistance marking. Push your tip in, goes away, let go, comes back. Yes, resistance is high. I'm spinning the tip right now. This is an old weapon. I've not used it in a long time, so resistance is crap, but I'm not competing anymore, so don't worry about it. And that's how you check for foil. For epee, hang on a second. Okay, so to check an epee, we have an epee cord plugged in. There's a weapon on off screen. I push the tip down, and there's resistance. So that works really, really nicely. Now the next one is the weapon check, which is really kind of cool. Stand by. Okay, epee, back to the weapon check. The epee is plugged in. Now notice there are different markings on this. We have on this side R is resistance, PA, PB, PC. These are measurements of resistance in the A line, the B line, the C line. This side, it's AB, BC, AC short. Remember, this is reversed. So AB is going to show up as BC on this. AB is probably BC short, and AC is still AC. So I'm going to push the tip down. You see resistance on AB. Now, if I want to check the guard, I'm going to take a patch cable, plug into the P spot, and touch that to the guard, and this happens. So the guard's conducting fine. And if I want to test the resistance in the weapon itself, I'm going to touch it to the tip and push down so we have the circuit energized. There we go. The left side shows the resistance on the A and the B line of the wire. And why do we care about this? We don't care about domestically. We care about this internationally because the STM realist system that we see at Olympics and World Cups is very, very sensitive to resistance. And if the weapon is resistance is too high, then it becomes, you know, a really difficult thing to work properly. Let's do a foil next standby. Okay, we're back. We got a foil in my hand. We're going to plug the cable in. There's resistance on the right side. Again, pushed it down, it goes away, comes back. And let's check the guard. This works the same way as in the FA. Okay. And PB because, well, that's part of the circuit. Now, we also want to check the tip on this one. So I'm going to push the probe to the tip and watch we have power coming through because in foil, the B line is always carrying power. It's always energized. So it's 0.4 ohms. When I push down, that should not change. And it is not, well, it changes minimally. Actually, it's a little less. So that would actually be very good at a World Cup. So I check that. Let's go to body cords next. Okay, we're on body cord wire check 1. We're going to do a foil cord first. It plugs into this side because these two ports, remember, are for an A line, either the mass cord here or the A clip there. So plug it there. I'm going to plug the tubing cord up here. And I'm going to find the A line, plug that in. Okay, get on there. There it goes. We have all three lines. I can wiggle it back and forth or whatever and take it there. There's that there. Now, if you have a bayonet cord, though, you need to have an adapter. So plug the adapter in. Let me get my octopus cord. Hang on. That has a bayonet on it. Octopus cord there is that plugged in. And my bayonet socket, or bayonet plug rather. And there it is. Again, no A lines on this. So there's that for the bayonet. For the épée side, very simple. Just plug the épée cord on the other side that has the metallic one for the A line. And all three are there. Now, if we go to the other body wire marking, we get the same resistance levels here we did previously, but we also have this side. Those lines mean that we have A to A, B to B, C to C. But what if you have a reversed line? Okay, so let's take this C line and put it in the A port, the actual A port. Oh, look, we have a crossed wire. Isn't that cool? See if we go the other way around. If I put a B line there. So this is really neat for telling me that I've got a cross line to fix. Really good for diagnosis on the strip. And I love working on that one. And then let's go to the Lemay check last standby. Boxed on Lemay, so I've got my my Lemay pad, which is a stand for my Lemay clip to my A line. I've got my probe plugged in. I got the other lines plugging to those two spots there. There's like a mass cord. Touch my Lemay probe to Lemay and watch the lights. Bingo, there we go. And that tells me how good this is, actually really good resistance. So that's what my Lemay checks. So there's my resistance up in the upper left-hand corner there. Works really well. So this one I very much look forward to using. This box is not going to be my primary strip box, however, because I know how I function at tournaments, how messy my table is, how many heavy tools are flying around. Don't want anything to hit this, break the glass, destroy the unit. So this is not going to be a primary box. That's going to be the one I'm building. This is going to be my strip box in case I get a strip call. And if I do work an international event, I use this one to check the electrics if I get that call. It's also my backup box if my main box breaks. But this is a really, really nice little unit. It's very small. It's very light. I think I'm going to like this a great deal. My only nit is that if it's being made for an American market, these should be labeled A, B, C, both on the ports and on the screen, but that's minor. Let's get used to it. As far as buying one, they are for sale. I am not going to give the name or address of the personally brokered the sale in this video, nor am I going to do it in the description box, because he doesn't want his name and address out all over the place in public. However, if you do want one of these boxes, if you're Armory, I highly recommend one. Email me at homfencing@hotmail.com or through the contact page on homfencing.com, or even through, leave your email address, on this video comment section, and I'll be happy to send you the gentleman's name and email address. You can go through him. The current price as of May 20th, 2022, which when I am filming this, is $250 US for the box. That is inclusive of the box, all shipping and everything else like that. Neither the gentleman who's broken the sale nor the gentleman who makes them are trying to make any money on the box. They simply want the box out in public and being used, and I highly recommend it. Again, really neat little box. One of those great ideas comes out of Armors to make things easier to work. I'm looking very much forward to using this when I have to. As always, happy armoring.